Ah!
You're right, the internet. I'm Rough Games and welcome to part 2 of my series of guides for ARK Survival Evolved, which of course is currently in early access on Steam and will eventually be on the consoles too. That's the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So in this one we're going to be looking at the status effects, the buffs, the debuffs, all those icons that will show up at the bottom of your screen, which are usually there to let you know that something horrible is currently happening to you. Now, at any point during regular gameplay, you can, by default, hold down the H key, which will bring up additional information, give you sort of a little tooltip. I do not know what this is on a console or on a control pad, but of course, when an icon does show up, chances are something terrible is happening to you, whether being eaten by a dinosaur or, of course, the real monster, which is man, or, you know, the other people playing the game. Dinosaur just wants to kill you and eat you. The other player wants to knock you out, make you eat their poop, steal your stuff, kill you, and then eat you, those fuckers. Holding down the H key in this situation, not ideal. First up, the most common status effects, which of course is your temperature levels. We have hot, and then to a more severe degree we have hypothermia. Now when you are hot, you sweat, you perspire. So this is basically the game's way of telling you that you are losing your water levels rapidly. So seek a source of water, whether it be a lake, a pond, a water skin, or even the ocean. Delicious salty water. Reduce your temperature and put your water levels back up. On the other end of the spectrum we have cold, and more severe, hypothermia. Now when you're cold, your body burns more energy to keep you warm, to compensate. So this is basically the game's way of letting you know that your food levels, your stomach capacity, is decreasing at an increased rate. Additionally, with hypothermia, you will also be losing health over time, so it's very important. Find a source of heat. You can set a fire or torch. If you watch part 1 of the video, we looked at fortitude as well as thermal insulation. And these bring us directly into our next status effects, which of course are dehydration, when your water level reaches 0. When you're dehydrated, you cannot regenerate stamina for running and sprinting. You will also be losing health over time. Your torpidity will also be increasing and at an increased rate, which means at any point you can just drop unconscious. And this is the same for starvation. You will be slowly losing health over time, which I believe is 1 hit point per 5 seconds. At least this is on the official servers. Your torpidity will be increasing and at an increased rate, which means of course you could fall unconscious, or you are more likely to be knocked out. The broken bone icon is basically there to let you know that you have sustained an injury. You are injured, you cannot run, you cannot jump, your movement speed has been slowed, you cannot regenerate stamina, your torpidity will increase. To remedy an injury, you basically have to regenerate some of your health. If your food and water levels are stocked up, you'll slowly regenerate over time. Otherwise you can use a blood bag, eat some form of cooked food, cooked meat, that kind of thing, just to bump your health up and get rid of your injury. Bad times. This icon is Dilophosaurus Venom, though you probably know exactly what's up when this happens to you. The screen will turn green for about 10 seconds. If it's at night time, you probably are not going to be able to see anything. Dilophosaurus basically spits venom in your face, which is incredibly rude. They're basically the chav of the dinosaur world. If you want to avoid this, you can just circle strafe. If you are unlucky enough to get hit, you can avoid the Dilophosaurus' attacks by circle strafing. Just be wary of your environment. You wouldn't want to blindly circle strafe off of a mountain, because that would be a little bit shit. The green skull and crossbones icon lets you know that you have been tranquilized, so eat some stim berries quickly or you are going to pass out. At the moment in the game there are 2 causes for being tranquilized. There is the pulmonoscorpius, which is the scientific name for what I like to call giant scorpion fuckers, which of course is because they are both giant scorpions and fuckers. The other cause for this is from tranquilizer arrows, which is obviously from other players. So if you suddenly fall unconscious and you see the tranquilizer icon at the bottom of your screen and you cannot hear a giant scorpion munching on your pancreas, then probably means that you're about to be force fed someone's poop. My condolences. This is the exhausted icon. You'll get this if you basically burn through your entire stamina bar. When you're exhausted, your movement speed would be slowed, you will not be able to sprint or jump. To recover it, you just need to stop, stand still, or better yet, lie down, recover your stamina, and you'll no longer be exhausted. Another thing to bear in mind, I'm not sure if this is a bug or intended, but if you are swimming, this can lead to suffocation if you swim at full speed and reduce your stamina down. Even if you're on top of the water, you just won't take another breath. Again, I'm not sure if this is intended, but it's pretty stupid. But just keep an eye on your stamina. Do not get exhausted whilst you are swimming. This icon on the screen basically lets you know that you are digesting food. When you eat something, it doesn't instantly just add to your stomach capacity. For example, if you eat a piece of cooked meat, which would normally give you 20 points to your stomach, you will get this icon showing that you are slowly adding the food to your stomach. Tasty. This is the encumbered icon. Basically, once you get to about 90% of your weight limit, this will pop up and you can probably figure out you'll be slowed, you cannot run or jump. If you go above your weight limit, you'll be frozen to the spot. Now, another thing to bear in mind, this is a dinosaur game. You can train dinosaurs to be your bitches. You can use your dinosaur's weight limits to carry extra stuff. However, if you use a dinosaur as a mount, your weight limits will combine. So for example, if your dinosaur has 50 points remaining of weight limit and you are carrying 51 points of stuff, if you try and mount your dinosaur, it's going to be over and the dinosaur will be encumbered and thus will not be able to run. So drop some shit. And when I say that, I of course mean drop some stuff in your inventory and not press the button which makes you drop a shit. This is your healing icon. This basically lets you know that you are regenerating health. Much like the digestive icon, when this shows up, just means you're rapidly increasing your health. You can get this from using a blood bag or eating some cooked food. For example, a piece of cooked meat, you will have the digestion icon showing you that you are regenerating some stomach capacity. If you are not at full health, you will also get some health back whilst this icon is on the screen. This is the crafting icon. Basically your movement speed will be slowed whilst you're crafting. Really what this tells you is that you can do other things whilst you are crafting. You'll just be slowed down a little bit. So if you're building foundations, walls, that kind of thing, you can carry on karate chopping trees to get thatch whilst you are crafting. Super duper. This is a slow icon. When this shows up, basically means that you're moving slow. And you could probably figure it out as well because you're moving slow, so yeah. Slow. This icon, which looks like someone has been knocked out, is basically letting you know that you have been knocked out. I've not actually seen this in the game yet, so whether it's been implemented, I do not know. But there it is anyway. What a knockout. Last and least, we have the food poisoning icon. When this is on screen, it is basically the opposite of the healing icon. You will be slowly losing health over time. So if you are starving and desperate, you can eat some raw meat to get a bit of hunger back, but you will also get food poisoning and lose a chunk of health. Another way to get food poisoning is by eating poo. Whilst we're on the subject, in case anyone was wondering, you do not in fact get superpowers from eating Tyrannosaurus Rex poo. Instead you will get food poisoning and die. I can confirm. Obviously, by saying I confirm, I didn't do that because that would be stupid. But yeah, the other person that did that died from eating T-Rex poo. No superpowers at all. Fortunately, they did do it within their shelter, so it was really easy for me to get back to my body. It also didn't work the second or third times. Anyway guys, that is part 2 of my ARK series. And those are the status effects, or at least they are so far. Of course we are in early access, so there might be some changes later on, who knows. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you think I've missed anything, or you know what your favourite sandwich is. I'm Rough Games, and I'll see you next time.